I hate the computer age, dude. I just hate it. Just hate it. We need producers. We need people to run this shit and let us just do our thing. I hate fucking with computers. I really do. They get me so irritated. Anyway, yeah, college, pro, underdogs hammering it everywhere. JC hits the Appalachian State.
I just wish Leslie would have put some money on it.
Yeah. Georgia Southern coming through. We had Marshall beating the Irish. I mean, it's just.
I love that.
Oh, I know. That feels good. That one really felt good.
Ooh, yeah,
I mean,
yes.
Oh yeah, tons of great stuff. But let me go to some the results for our baseball. We'll knock that out of the park. We'll get that out of the way. Let's see here. Bada boo, da bada bee, da bada boo. All right, so for baseball, we nailed our best bets once again, 4-2. We had the best bets going down. The very best bet we had Detroit and Houston. We had a nerfy, and Houston started off the game with two runs, so we took the loss there. Then we had the Texas team total over 3.5. We lost that. They only got up to 3. But the 4 wins were Houston -1 over Detroit, the Dodgers and Arizona under 9. Easy win there. They only had 6. Framer Valdez, Houston over 6.5 strikeouts. He had 8. That was plus money. Then Tyler Anderson, Dodgers under 4.5 strikeouts. That was easy. He only had 2. Then if you played our 3-team parlay, we won that. We had Texas money line game 1 win, Houston -1.5, and the Dodgers Arizona under 9. And that was winner chicken dinner. So $20 paid 117. And then if you went with our underdog of the day, San Fran over Atlanta, they took the win 3-2. So baseball yesterday was a beautiful thing.
Yes, nice.
Yeah. So go to our Facebook page. You will see our major league plays for today. We got some really nice plays for you. Let's see. Where are we here? Yeah, that will be on our Facebook page. You've got we always have the results, and you'll have our plays of tonight. The first 2 games, actually, let me see here. Something's all right. Fussing with this thing. I'm telling you, I hate this. I hate computers. Anyway, so for our what do we got here? All right, this is really pissing me off now. Now I'm starting to get really fucking irritated.
Take a deep breath.
All right. There we go. No, this is NFL. Hold on a minute. Let's see here. Today's the 13th, right?
It is.
It is. Okay. Let's see here.
Speaking of NFL, I checked the standings, and the Lions are actually ahead of the Packers after week 1. So.
I know. You should screenshot that.
Yep. You know.
Oh, my God.
Digging it.
I know. That's a beautiful thing.
Okay. Next weekend.
Right. Well, okay. So there was tons of stuff going on. You know what? Let's see. Hold that thought, brother. Take
Okay.
a pause here. I want to get something real quick. Hey, you got any F1 or anything else? English? Soccer?
Yeah, I actually have some Champions League results from today. They did play. Liverpool scored in the 89th minute to go past Ajax 2-1. Club Bruges from Belgium shocked Porto, the Portuguese champions, 4-0. That's a drubbing. Bayer Leverkusen, German team from the Bundesliga, beat Atletico Madrid. And Lewandowski, who made the big money move to Barcelona this past summer, lost to his old team Bayern Munich 2-0, which I love to
Ooh.
see.
Some payback there. Some Russell Wilson type of payback, huh?
Yeah, oh, that was nice too.
Wow. Well,
and Arsenal's biggest rival in the Premier League, their North London rival, Tottenham, lost 2-0. So that doesn't break my heart at all. I'm actually kind of happy about that.
No, it doesn't. Do we have any English Premier coming up at all?
Yeah, there are 7 games this weekend. 3 have been canceled due to the lingering effects of Queen Elizabeth II's death. So, and Arsenal did have a match tomorrow scheduled in the UEFA Europa League against PSV Eindhoven, but that's been canceled too because I think the funeral is tomorrow, so you're going to have a lot of big dignitaries coming into London. They don't have enough police force to handle it.
Oh, really? It's that crazy, huh?
It's that crazy.
My God, that's worse than here in the States. I mean, you're talking about there's not enough police force to protect the people from a sport. Wow. That's
Well, you're gonna have everybody's gonna be on the streets as the funeral procession goes by. So
right.
you're gonna have to have a lot of law enforcement out.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you got to have it because I've seen some of those soccer matches where it's gotten so out of control that they literally break down the barricades from the stands and into the field. I mean, I remember years and years ago, there was some sort of soccer match where people were pinned up against the fence.
Yep, that would have been.
Do you remember that?
Yeah,
that was back in the day.
That was at the stadium was Hillsborough. It was a FA Cup tie. It was Liverpool. God, I can't remember the team, but yeah, the people got pushed up against the barriers, and they could have opened more gates, but they didn't. And I think over 100 people died. I think it was back in 1989, if I remember correctly.
Wow. That is, that's, I don't know. That kind of stuff just can't happen. I don't know how it gets so out of control to where you can't, tell the person behind you, hey guys,
yeah,
enough's enough. But
yeah, it's a lot different though than it used to be because they used to have terraces where people would just stand and they'd cram people in standing room only. Now they have, the movie seats like they have in America. So it's not as bad and the violence isn't as prevalent as it used to be, which is a good thing.
Right. Well, I don't know. It's crazy stuff over there in Europe with their so-called football, but they love their sport, man. They love that sport.
Oh, they're crazy about it.
So over the weekend, Jay, we had crazy ass football, and it went through college, through the NFL. But I've got kind of a list here of winners, losers, and kind of how I've kind of wrapped up the college so-called week 2. And I'm gonna give you some of my winners here. I think I always like to say, "Don't look now," but here come the Jayhawks. of Kansas. Kansas is supposed to be a basketball school,
They're basketball power.
but they're on a winning streak. They beat West Virginia 55-42 on the road.
That's
And
high school game.
Kansas is 2-0 for the first time. This just sounds crazy. Since 2011.
Wow.
Won its first Big 12 opener. That's the first time since 2009. And the 55-point output is the most since, the last Big 12 victory for Kansas was over Texas. Kansas QB Jalen Daniels was unbelievable with 250 yards, 82 yards rushing in the win. This is a serious Power 5 team, finally. And I think a lot's owed to the coach. The coach is just taken a basketball school and just taken them to the next level. Pretty awesome.
Good to
USC,
see.
another one, USC. They let's see. What did USC? They're popping off wins.
Yep.
Let's see. Let's see. What did they do? Oh yeah, they just smoked fucking. Wow, the score doesn't show how bad they beat them. They beat them 41-28. But there was 14 of Stanford's points. It's pretty much garbage time points. At the end where they kind of slip in some backdoor stuff. But they were. Yeah, but USC, they were fine. They were -9. I had them as one of my better bets, and they won pretty easily. So I think that's a team to really watch out for. They're going to be in the Big Ten soon too, brother.
I know. Well, they got a lot. This transfer portal really opens it up, and they got a lot of guys that came in this year.
Yep.
And, it's a different game.
It is. It's a much, much, much different game. Now, I could throw, my Air Force, your Appalachian in there. We could throw in pretty much a bunch of these, but I'd be listing them forever. But for losers, dude, what's going on over in South Bend, man? That is, you lose to Marshall.
Hard to say.
Yeah.
Maybe the post Brian Kelly era hangover. I don't know.
They couldn't move the ball in Ohio State, and in Ohio State's Ohio State. I get that, but you're at home against Marshall. That's just completely different.
Right.
They threw 3 interceptions, averaged 3.5 yards per carry against a Sun Belt squad.
Horrible.
Marcus Freeman, the coach, it's the first time since Lou Holtz started 0-2.
Oh boy.
Yeah, so they're a bit concerned over there. And then we've got Nebraska. We know all about that.
Fired their head coach Sunday morning.
Yeah. He just Nebraska had to do something.
I mean, he's a full hero because he was the quarterback of the 97 co-national championship team, but
right.
You got to win in the field.
Yeah, you remember Adrian Martinez? He was their quarterback, and he went. He said, "Hell, I'm out of this bitch."
Yep.
He goes over to Kansas State, drops 40 on Missouri. So I think when you look at the whole package there, Nebraska's they were just pissed.
It's just a bad hire,
Yeah. In Georgia Southern, we had them easily as one of our top 3 picks of the week, getting way too many points, 23.5, and figured, there's a very good chance that they could just go in there and win, and they won by 3. It was pretty awesome.
Yep.
And that's another Sun Belt team. The Sun Belt's no joke. It snapped a 214 game streak of wins at home when scoring more than 35 points.
Man.
Yeah. I mean, if Nebraska puts up 35, they don't lose.
Yep.
214 games in a row. Ay, ay, ay. They've changed quarterbacks, assistants, coordinators, and players. It's just not working for Mr. Frost. So they just said,
Yep.
You gone. Are we overreacting to the Alabama team, do you think?
I don't think so. I think no. I mean,
it is Texas. Texas is coming back.
They're coming back. They're big. Texas has always traditionally been a big program. So I don't. Saban with the recruits he gets, I wouldn't really worry too much. Let's see how they go in the first couple of SEC games, and then you can kind of maybe gauge how they're going to be this year.
Right. Which, it was kind of weird, though, and I saw this stat. I was kind of blown away. The Alabama wide receivers had only 3 total catches for 14 yards heading into the fourth quarter.
Yeah, that's unusual for Alabama.
I mean, they usually have that. They usually have that on one drive, like their opening drive,
Yeah. Yep.
But yeah, it's I don't know. It's just crazy to see that. But I'm not an Alabama fan, but I don't think the Crimson Tide fans need to worry.
No.
It's a little glitch. They're in Texas. I mean, Texas is people don't go in there and just win at will. I mean, they have been in slumps in years in the past, but I absolutely would not worry about it.
Nope.
As we mentioned before, Georgia Southern, shocks Nebraska. We had one here in Michigan that nobody really talked about, but Central Michigan, when they're playing smaller schools, they're usually really they hold their ground in their own building. But South Alabama had no reason to go into Central and beat them, and they sure as hell did. I'm trying to see what the it was only 4.5, but still, I thought that was pretty crazy. Georgia State pushed Carolina right to the limit. Coastal Carolina needed a late score to beat Gardner-Webb. Gardner-Webb is really a basketball school.
You got kicked out of Gardner-Webb, didn't you? When you playing baseball down there, and you got
Gardner, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Yep. They didn't feel I was very good down there, so they kicked me out and sent me up to Siena Heights.
Well, we forgot to mention another one, and I'm kind of biased here because it's my alma mater, but Tennessee went into Pittsburgh, and that was a nice win.
That is a very nice win, and boy, they put up some. They put up some points, man. It's going into that game, you knew it was going to be a back and forth.
Yep.
Onslaught. There's some games coming up this next week that I'm kind of licking my chops for. I like just real early in the week. I've pulled out a couple that kind of stand out here. I've got let's see, South Florida is at Florida. Florida's minus 24.5. Now, it sounds like a lot, but I think Florida is better than BYU, and South Florida gave up 50 to them.
Wow.
Yeah, and I just think they're going to have a field day, and I bet you by halftime they've got that covered and then some. And I'm going right back to my Falcons, dude. These guys are for real. Air Force.
You love your Air Force, man.
I am this year. And you know what it is, dude? They're running. They're just – I don't know what the deal is. They cannot figure Air Force running game out. They piled up 435 yards against Colorado. And that's just, and they were running on nearly every single play. They could not stop them.
Yeah.
Wyoming did not do well against Illinois' run-first offense also, knowing that they're going to run, and they still could not stop Illinois. And they were giving up 6 yards per carry. So it's a lot of points, minus 17. I hate giving up a lot of points in games. I don't care who's playing who, but I think Air Force is going to handle this pretty well. And I bet you the first half, I'm going to look at their first half line. I bet you it's around 10.5, minus 10.5. I think they'll easily cover it. I think it's going to be like a 21-3 type of halftime score.
Yep.
And then I've got one that's people are going to overlook and think, oh, stick with the Big Ten. You got Western Kentucky heading to Indiana. Spread's only 6.5, which tells me something. Indiana started off 2-0, but they don't got it offensively. They're not in any kind of rhythm.
They seem a little weaker than they have been the past couple of years.
Yeah. It took them basically a second half against Idaho, the Potatoes,
the Spud Boys,
and they just they were shut out. Indiana was shut out in the first half. The Hilltoppers, I mean, you gotta love that name.
Oh yeah,
gotta love Western
Kentucky Hilltoppers.
Hilltoppers. They've been an offensive machine, and I just think that this game's going to be. They're going to keep it close. 6.5 is way too many points.
Mm-hmm.
And then I've got an upset already brewing in my in CK's little cauldron.
That wouldn't be Connecticut over Michigan, would it? No.
That would be a bigger win than Appalachian State.
Yeah, that would be. Yeah.
I don't know if they're going to put up. I don't know if they'll get 10 points. I mean, Hawaii did, but
yeah,
they're ranking Hawaii as the worst college football team right now. Number 1, they are the worst.
I mean, they're horrible.
And dude, Hawaii's always been kind of hovering a little bit above 500. They're like that 6-5, 6-6, 7-5 type of team, and they always got a quarterback.
Yeah, a couple of years ago they had June Jones. I mean, the guy was an NFL coach. And they had. Yeah, I mean,
they are not even relevant.
I think it would be easy to recruit to Hawaii, but I guess not.
I would. I mean, I'm shocked. I mean, if they said, "Hey, would you like to come to Western Kentucky, or would you like to go to Hawaii to play football?"
Yeah,
wouldn't think twice. I've got This is early. I haven't gone over about 40%. I got about 40% left to go through, but I got an early upset of the week, brother.
Okay,
we just got done talking about them. I got Kansas getting 10 points over Houston.
Is that in Kansas and Lawrence, or is
no? They are in they're in Houston. But
okay.
Just hear me out. The Cougars were thought to be able to dethrone Cincinnati and make a run at the spot at the New Year's Six as the group of 5 representative. I mean, it can still happen, but it's a rough going for Houston so far, which needed 3 OTs to beat Texas San Antonio, and they lost in overtime to Texas Tech. Now, Kansas, meanwhile, has posted 56 and 55 points in its first 2 games, the latter of which was a win at West Virginia. I'm just telling you, dude, I think this is going to be a shootout. The total, when you see the number 57, you're thinking, holy that's a lot of points. We're talking college football, though.
Yeah.
You're talking about a team that's just put up 55 and 56, and you're going to throw out a total of 57? Now, I'm not saying that Kansas is going to score that many against Houston, but, dude, come on. This is going to go back. Dude, they're going to put 100 points up. So I would take this while it's low. This is going to, by game time, be into the 60s. The line may drop. I'm thinking it may go as low as 8.5, may go as high as 10.5. I'm telling you, if you got to sprinkle some money on an early one and don't mind sitting on it for a week, Jay, you got to grab that total.
Yeah,
you got to grab that total. I mean, that is just I don't know. It's crazy, but I think Kansas is going to win, and I think they're going to just smoke that total. And if you take Kansas just to win, it's plus 278.
wow.
So you're almost tripling your money. I mean, I think it's a great pick.
And you get 10 points to start off the game to boot. So
yeah. So if you're worried about it, I would take that. I got some other candidates here. I think Ohio. Let's see. I got a Toledo at Ohio State. Toledo is getting 31.5. Ohio State's going to win the game, but I'm telling you, I have seen these two teams play in the past, and Toledo takes these Ohio State games personal. They get a shot at their own state.
Yep.
31.5 is way too many points. They're going to probably either backdoor it or they may comfortably cover that number, but I do like that.
He's got to factor in too. There's probably a lot of guys that play on the Toledo team that, thought that they should have been recruited by Ohio State and never ended up there. So there's always a lot to play for.
Yep, absolutely. Now there's one that's just not making any sense to me, and help me out. Maybe I'm missing something here, and I got to look into it more. But Oklahoma ranked 6th, minus 11.5 at Nebraska. You're going to tell me a new guy is going to take over for Frost, and this is going to turn itself around to where Nebraska at least covers that 11.5, possibly beats Oklahoma at home? Do you think the crowd in that will be that much more pumped up to take out an Oklahoma team?
That Oklahoma-Nebraska, I mean, that's a pretty traditional rivalry. So
right. I must be blind to it, brother. I just don't see it. But I'm gonna do my due diligence.
I don't know who Nebraska is named as an interim coach or what's going on there, but maybe these guys were unhappy with Frost and there was a lot of dissension in the locker room. And if they play, if they hire someone or have someone in the interim that these guys want to play for, it's a rival game.
Yeah.
Used to love watching those Nebraska-Oklahoma games in the 70s. Wow.
Weren't those fun?
Oh, boy. They were great.
I mean, that's where I discovered, even though Barry Sanders played for Oklahoma State, but we got to see, I was born in Oklahoma, so I followed both schools, and I used to side a lot with the Sooners, but then I became a Cowboy fan. And especially when Sanders came out of there, I just thought that was some good stuff.
And look at, the Lions had Sanders and, Billy Sims came from Oklahoma. So,
yep.
They've put some good backs, both teams, really.
Yep. So as it stands for the Big Ten this coming week, we've got a couple highlighted games I got here. I got Penn State is at Auburn.
Ooh.
Penn State's ranked 22. They are favored going into Auburn. Now, Jay, you've lived here long enough to know how Big Ten teams fare when you just don't hear about it much. You don't hear about Big Ten teams going on to these schools. Do you think they got it this year? Do you think
that's a tough game? Auburn's a tough place to play. I mean, those people are going to be out in force. So, I mean,
now, because last year Penn State, Auburn came to Penn State, and Penn State won 28-20. Auburn's weakness is their pass defense. that has really been their weakness. There's no evidence that Auburn's secondary has improved this year. And Penn State is actually a better offensive team. They got this is the second year their their offensive coordinator, Mike Urich, has been coaching for Penn State. So
under Franklin,
he's got a win under his belt already, and now they're going there. So it's very possible that they go down there.
Do it.
Yeah, I think they can. Will they? I don't know. We'll see. It's. I'm telling you, it's tough to. It's like college basketball. It's tough to win, to take a season series. So I mean, even though it's been 2 years.
Yep.
But yeah, then we got Oklahoma, like we said, going to Nebraska, 11.5 points. I just think this is, dude, this is going to be.
You think it's going to be
mollywop? They're going to get mollywopped. I do.
Mollywop. I like that.
You like that? I think. And the most intriguing on the list is Michigan State.
Yeah.
Is heading to Washington now.
Yep.
State's getting 3.5. I have a lot of confidence that. I mean, this is new Michigan State, dude. I love our coach. In the past, when we used to always see Michigan State play these little cupcakes in the beginning, and you'd see like a 24-12. You'd see, but now you're seeing Michigan State saying, "Okay, you get your check. Here's your check. Now you're gonna bend over because we're gonna pile drive you here." I think this coaching staff for Michigan State alone is going to help them go into Washington, and I think they're going to not only I think they're going to win it
out there. Yeah,
I really do. I'm going to look more into it, but right off the bat, early in the week, and you're getting 3.5 if you don't feel
right,
very strong about it, then just take the 3.5. Then we got Toledo at Ohio State. We talked about that.
Yeah, I like those MAC teams going against the Big Ten teams. Those are always fun.
Yep. And now here's a team that I think is going to stir up some. These are the guys that will kind of put your season, kind of screw up your seasons. Maryland. They're a funky team, man.
The Terps.
Yeah, they will come in and, you probably have it on your thing as, we'll check that off as a win, this, but be careful. SMU, I've seen many SMU games where they'll put up 70 points, dude.
Yep.
So I think this is going to be a crazy. Look at the total, 73.
Whew.
Yeah, so they're expecting it. I don't think they'll hit 73. I think it'll be high scoring, but I don't know if they're going to.
That's a lot of points.
Yeah.
A lot of points.
Now, both teams are among the top 10 nationally in yards per play. Maryland is top of the list at 8.6 yards per play, which is kind of surprising.
Yeah, but I don't know who they've played, but I'm assuming it's not very tough competition yet. But
no, so that's why this number is so bloated. 73.5 points. I mean, it's crazy.
That's a lot.
Then we got the Rutgers heading to Temple. Now, last year, dude, let's see. The line on this one is Rutgers minus 17.5. I already have this down, Jay, as one of my top 10 best bets of the week.
All right.
Whether it makes my top 3, I don't know. I've got to see what else is out there. But this is definitely top 10 shit. The Rutgers beat Temple last year 61-14. Yeah. The Owls, and here's the thing, though. Temple has not even improved this year. The Scarlet Knights running game probably should carry it to a very, very comfortable cover. Temple's 1-1, but they lost at Duke 30-0. They do have a win over Lafayette 30-14, which is a very, very bad FCS team.
Yeah.
And even though that 16-point victory wasn't cemented until the fourth quarter for Temple, they're trying to find their way still under their first-year coach, Stan Drayton. Rutgers, on the other hand, 2-0. They got a 22-21 win over Boston College, and then they bitch slapped Wagner 66-7.
Wagner.
Yeah, poor Wagner. Wagner says, "Here's a check for $50.
Yeah.
You're gonna like this." Oh God! But they the Knights piled up 212 yards against the Boston College team that they were only allowing 3.2 yards per rush. So Temple is not going to have any answers for the Scarlet Knights. So I really, really like that. Then we got the rest of the slate for the Big Ten is UConn at Michigan, minus 46.5. I ain't touching that shit, dude. I am not even going near it because we know how Michigan, they could be up that at halftime. And then they just diddle-daddle around. They don't want to get anybody hurt. And then they're winning by 50, 53. Uh-oh, here comes UConn. They're going to blow it for them. So I'm not messing with that.
Let me cut it. I got to ask you, because your take on this. Does Michigan, do you think they're set at quarterback, or do you think there's still kind of an underlying controversy brewing?
Yeah, I still think he seems to think that he's going to have something after this game. My gut tells me that he's not sure. And I don't think he wants to fuck this up. He's sitting at number 4 in the country. He doesn't want to screw it up. And I think it's this. I'll tell you what, I think in the next few weeks, something crazy is going to happen where we're questioning his pick. Because honestly, Jay, Michigan's going to have to win all these games with one of the quarterbacks, and then he'll be able to say, "See, I told you." Right. But if he starts losing games, they're going to question what pants he's wearing, if the khakis still work.
Right.
So I think he's going to have a controversy for a while because I think both quarterbacks are doable for this team. I mean, I don't know. But no, I do not think that he has it figured out yet.
I don't think so either.
I think he's
just going with the 5-star guy because he probably doesn't lose him in the transfer.
Right, because if they don't, why didn't you put a 5-star guy in there, you idiot?
Yep.
So, no, I agree. I don't think he does. So, Purdue at Syracuse, pick 'em. Oh boy, coin flip, brother. I don't know. The points are at 58.5. I don't think either team's going to put up enough to cover that. So I would probably take the under. And then we got the Western Kentucky at Indiana. Oh, man, dude. I don't know. That 6.5 is tempting to take Western Kentucky, but I could see Indiana winning by a touchdown. I don't know.
Yep.
Then you got Colorado, who we've already seen is just, they're not very good.
No,
they're at Minnesota, but Minnesota is getting 27.5. I don't know when I've seen Minnesota favored by that much by any team. And then you throw in Colorado, just the school name. Forget that they suck. It's still Colorado. It's just, I don't know, man.
Yep.
But they got that crazy coach that I just love, man, from Central that runs up and down the field. He actually is faster than half his team. Have you ever seen him when they got like a breakaway and they're going down for the touchdown? It's like a 60-yard run. He runs down the field with them. He looks ridiculous when he does it, but I love the guy. He's a great coach.
He's keeping in shape, I guess.
Yeah, I guess it does, man. And then we got New Mexico State is at Wisconsin. Wisconsin minus 37.5.
Jeez.
Now here's this one's hilarious. I really got to look into this one. Nevada is at Iowa. It's minus 23. Iowa hasn't even scored 23 points. And the pick,
actually score a touchdown?
Dude, I think against Iowa State, I got to look at the score, but it was single digits.
Yeah.
The total's 39.5. I mean, that's just way too much. I never thought I'd say it. And Nevada is just ungodly horrible. They were playing. I mean, I don't even like saying this school's name because it's so weird. Incarnate Wood or Word. Hold on. What the hell is the name of it? It's where is it? I highlighted this because I thought this was hilarious as hell. Nevada played. Oh, I know why. It was on just a separate. If you wanted to bet this game, you had to go like into the extra games because this thing didn't even make sense. It was so bad. Pulling it up right now. Nevada played. What is the name of this school? It's come on, where is it? Oh Christ. Come on, schedule. All right. So incarnate word, they're called. And Nevada got bitch slapped by them. 55-41. Dude, they're fucking terrible. Now they are 2-1. But they haven't beaten anybody. Texas State, New Mexico State, they suck. So yeah, they got to go to Iowa, who I don't. Let me see. They scored. Let me see how many they've scored. They lost to Iowa State 10-7, which I had down here as one of my bets. And then they beat South Dakota State. They smoked them 7-3. Terrible. Just got awful, dude. So, anyway, those are some of our early games for
right.
Yeah. You know, it's yeah. I mean, it is what it is. But you know, this past Saturday, you had your Appalachian State. You called that. The biggest, our best bet we had, Air Force -17 over Colorado. Bam, winner. Georgia Southern +23 over Nebraska. Bam, winner. And they won outright. The one that I screwed up, my number 3 bet should have been Texas San Antonio -2.5 over Army. They did win. I had them in my top 10. They won 41-38, but I lost the total. They totaled 79 points. I had them under 54. I figured the clock would be ticking slow. Just didn't happen. Boise State, we had over and New Mexico over 44.5. They won with 45. We won by a hook. Western Michigan over Ball State, 37-30 winner. I had Alabama -11 over Texas first half. That was a loss because it was 10-10 at half. USC, we talked about it, -9 over Stanford. Winner, chicken dinner. Tennessee, Pittsburgh. I had them. You had them winning. You took the win there. I took the loss in the total. I had over 66. I figured they would get it up there, and they got it to 61. So we didn't. I didn't win that. Houston +3 over Texas Tech was a push. Houston +3. They lost by 3, so that was a push. So that was our wonderful college. Our
weekend of upsets. It was very fun.
Yeah.
Hopefully there'll be some more this weekend.
Absolutely. It's good stuff, man. And you know, that's what it's all about, dude.
Yep.
That is what it is all about. All right. So
watching sports, winning a little bit of money, and having a good time.
Yep. All right. So now we jump over to NFL. How did your teams go this weekend, Jay? for did you have any ones that you liked that came through, some that didn't?
Well, the Lions covered the spread. They always seem to, even when they lose.
I know.
Oh,
I don't get it, buddy.
I don't either.
Bad stuff. But we were talking about it with some of the boys, and they put up 35 points. To me, that's a positive thing. If you put up 35 points in the NFL, you should win most of your games.
Yep.
So if they can continue that and kind of tighten up this defense, we did give them a pick six.
Yep.
So, I mean, we can look at a bunch of different things. We had a bad snap near the end of the game that we could have put some points up on the board, got to overtime, something.
I thought the onside kick was ill-advised.
That
That
hurt.
Time for it. Yep.
No, and I know you're trying to catch a team off balance, but now if that play does come and it does work, I'm still feeling like, what are you guys doing?
Right.
It worked, but yeah, I know
you're doing that kind of trickery. What are you telling your defense at that point?
Well, that's another thing. You're telling your defense, you guys can't stop shit.
Right.
So
we're gonna try.
Yeah, we're gonna try something stupid. Back. Yeah. Oh, brother.
Yeah,
anyway,
I was glad to see Denver lose.
Well, yeah.
I've never been a big Russell Wilson fan.
Yeah, it's one of those games that I just I took my top 3 games. I took my best bet of the week, NFL. Then I followed it up with 3 of my best bets other than the number one, and I came out 2-2. My game of the week, oh man, dude, I had Indianapolis -7 over Houston. 9 out of 10 times that should come through, and it just, I don't know what the hell. Indianapolis just could not get anything going, man. They were stalling, and at the end they decide, well, let's tie this up, and then we'll live with a tie, which I hate. I hate ties.
I do too.
I hate them in football. You should come up with a winner, somehow come up with a system. But this, I'll tell you, game 1 of the year, and you start off with a tie, that's going to haunt you at the end of the year. It's just going to.
And I didn't think Houston would, I thought Houston, after all the Deshaun Watson stuff, and I don't know. They played them tough.
They did. They held them in there.
Yep.
But we had the other loss I had was Jacksonville +2.5 over Washington. Lost by 6.
Yep.
But I did have Baltimore -6.5 over the Jets. Man, Jay, the Jets just aren't. You're waiting for them to turn around. They just not doing it.
Nope.
I don't know. That's New York too. New York should have great teams.
Yeah, both teams should be up there every year, but
they're just not.
Nope.
Then one of my favorites, and I was getting laughed at, but Atlanta +5.5 over New Orleans. Took the win there. Atlanta lost, but they covered. It was too many points, I thought. And those two teams always play each other tough. So we went 2-2 with the best bets. Over and unders, I took my top 6. We came out 4-2. We had Tennessee, New York Giants under 44. It ended up 41. Tampa and Dallas under 51. That was easy.
Oh, God.
22 points. Then we did lose Chargers, Vegas over 52. I figured it'd be just a sling, and they did. They were slinging it around, but could not cover the 52. It ended up with 43. KC and Arizona over 53. Easy win there, 65 points. Philly, Detroit, under 48.5. Holy cow, 73 points.
Yep.
New Orleans, Atlanta, over 43 was a winner with 53. So we went 4-2. The others were just leans. They're posted on our Facebook, so go check those out.
All right.
As it goes for this coming Sunday, we've got some really great. We got, I think, some decent games coming up. Do you see anything on the schedule coming up that kind of, I don't know, you kind of like? See anything there that's kind of sticking out maybe a little bit?
Yeah. I
know.
Let's see.
I see one right away. It's going to go up. Kansas City, well, it opened at -3.5, and it's actually this Thursday over Chargers. I think the Chargers, I think they're getting better, but after watching Kansas City, I think Mahomes has a chip on his shoulder, bro.
You think so?
Yeah, I do. I think he's like, whoa, 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 this Tom Brady shit, all this talk, this, that. What about me? Remember me? I think
maybe he has a chip on his shoulder because of his wife, but that's just my opinion.
Well, yes, that very well could be. But I do like that. That game stuck out kind of like, whoa. Another one I really like, and I must be missing something here, but I'm going to look into it. New England is not New England anymore.
No.
And you got Patricia running the offense. Come on, dude. Seriously? We saw enough of him. That's just
Patricia shouldn't be in charge of a broom, honestly.
right. I like that.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh +1.5 over New England. I like that right out of the chute.
Yeah,
I even like
a nice win last weekend.
Yeah, I even like Cleveland -6 over the Jets. Jets on the road. You're telling me they're going to go into I don't care what state of how Cleveland's, where their minds are over there in that camp, but -6, the Jets coming in and even covering that, I don't see it. New Orleans +3 over Tampa. The Brady news, well, I don't know if you saw the latest that the wife said you're done after this year, pretty much. So,
oh, well.
I guess he's done after this year, it's looking like. So, I don't know. This one, I don't know. I'm going to have to wait to see how the week plays out. But is Atlanta getting too many points here over the Rams? 10.5? It's hard to say.
Yeah.
So,
Rams gonna come out and play a lot better than they did against Buffalo.
Yeah, I don't see Stafford throwing 3 interceptions, but
although we've seen it before.
Yeah. And then what else? Oh, I saw Seattle. I mean, we'll find out how good they are. They're getting 10. I saw 10.5 in a few places, but they're getting 10 points against San Fran. Thought that was interesting.
Yeah, that is, because San Fran.
They didn't show me anything, dude.
No.
And then one more I saw. Green Bay favored by 10 over Chicago.
Well, it's home. I mean, but I don't know.
I think Aaron's done, dude.
I do too.
He looks like he's checked out. He doesn't look interested anymore. He's already dissed he just dissed Green Bay by saying, who the hell would ever want to visit there? Who'd want to live there? I mean, dude, they're the ones paying you.
He's a total jerk off.
Yeah.
You think?
Now, I liked Philly -2 over Minnesota. They're on the road. We know how hard it is to win on the road. Philly looked good enough that I think they can cover that. So there's some games that stick out a little bit. I'm going to do some more digging this week. Facebook has our our plays every day, our results every day. So definitely check it out.
Yep.
If you missed the show and some of the talk we had about college and pros today, just go to Facebook, check out the show. We always post it in case you missed it. But other than that, Jay, you got anything else, my friend?
Nope. I'm getting kind of hungry, so I think I'm gonna mosey on to the kitchen to see what Leslie made for dinner.
What does she got? What does she got cooking?
I don't know. I'm gonna be surprised, pleasantly surprised, but it's always good. She's a good cook.
Yeah. Do you think it's gonna be peach cobbler?
I don't think so.
No peach cobbler.
No
Okay.
peach cobbler.
Okay.
Maybe this weekend.
Yeah, maybe some. It's a family show. It
is a family show.
All right, my brother. Well,
All
listen,
right.
you have a good evening, people.
Yeah,
Use your
thanks for
palms.
tuning
Have a
in.
good evening. I got a quick bet for you tonight. For you degenerate gamblers, 9:00 WNBA playoffs are in full swing. Take the Las Vegas Aces.
Yes, go Aces.
5 over Connecticut Suns. Why? Because you're a degenerate gambler and you want to win some money tonight.
And you want to bet on a women's basketball team that plays in Vegas.
Why not? Las Vegas won the other night, game 1. This is game 2. They won the first one by 3. Should Connecticut cover that 5? Probably, but I'm feeling like it's Vegas. It's Vegas time tonight.
That's
Take
right.
Vegas -5. Have a good night. We'll see you guys
too.
tomorrow.
Go Aces.
Peace out.